Welcome, MechWarrior. You're accessing beginner-level training manuals for the Atlas AS7-D provided by Ronin Fox Armored Security. I'll be your instructor, Fox. This tactical debriefing will cover the specifications, strengths, and weaknesses of the Atlas D, as well as how to refit and operate your own in the field. Because this is the beginner level, some restrictions will apply, including no lost tech, no upgrades, no mods, Tier 1 equipment only, DLC will be allowed. Let us begin. Defiance Industries Atlas AS7-D. Weight class, Assault. Role, Juggernaut. Availability, Common. Threat level, Reduced. Description. A legendary mech, equal parts symbol and war machine, the Atlas is perhaps the most recognized battle mech in existence. The Atlas was co-developed by Defiance Industries, Independence Weaponry, and Yori Mechworks, though without a doubt, Defiance maintains the greatest capability of manufacturing these expensive mechs from its Hesperus II factory, which successfully weathered the devastation of the Succession Wars. Its existence began in a time when the Star League began permitting greater military access to its vassal states, and the Atlas was intentionally designed to remind those beholden to the League that its power was absolute. Following the specifications of General Aleksander Kerensky himself, he commissioned, in quote, a mech as powerful as possible, as impenetrable as possible, and as ugly and foreboding as conceivable, so that fear itself will be our ally. And indeed, years of time went into perfecting the Atlas's appearance with intentionally exposed weaponry designed to intimidate, as well as a stylized skull-shaped head that took a year of time to engineer alone. The end result was a supremely armored mech that could engage in barbaric close combat with its heavy autocannon to its fully articulated battle fist said to be capable of grasping and hurling smaller mechs to the ground with ease. When the Atlas finally saw battle, it participated in the Star League Civil War, where it frequently acted as a command mech thanks to its advanced communications dish mounted on its head, which was strong enough for surface-to-space communications. The dish itself can be folded and retracted into the mech's head for protection. Hundreds of years later, the Atlas endures in spite of technological recession, where it continues to be a symbol of military superiority and remarkable robotics engineering. Today, those searching for an Atlas will most likely find it in the hands of House Steiner, the successor state where Defiance Industries is based in. Specifications. Maximum weight, 100 tons. Minimum weight, 35 tons. This means 65 tons are available for total customizations. Top speeds are 48.6 kilometers forward, 32 kilometers in reverse. Standard engine. This could be seen as average speed for an assault mech. Stock armor is 608 units, which is 19 tons of standard armor. Maximum possible armor is 626 units, which is 19.56 tons of armor. This could be seen as maximally armored for a 100-ton mech. Stock weaponry includes 1 AC-20 right torso with 2 tons of AC-20 ammo, which is 40 rounds, right torso. 1 LRM-20 Stream left torso with 2 tons of LRM ammo, which is 880 missiles or 44 volleys, left torso. 1 SRM-6 Stream left torso with 1 ton of SRM ammo, which is 320 missiles or 53.3 volleys, left torso. 4 medium lasers, 1 right arm, 1 left arm, 2 center torso. 2 Assault Battle Fist actuators. These are melee weapons rated at 30 damage, right arm and left arm. They are notable for doing more damage than a standard Assault Fist actuator, which are rated at 25 damage. 10 additional heat sinks. Strengths and weaknesses. The Atlas is a Juggernaut, which are heavily armed and armored mechs that are typically slow and designed for breaching lines or defending urban combat zones. In this role, its performance is mediocre. These are its strengths. Very heavy armor. The Atlas has virtually the heaviest armor possible. Battle fists. These hard-hitting fists already strike stronger than the typical fist and can be upgraded even farther. Weapon variety. The hardpoints on the Atlas allow mounting of virtually any weapon sans large energy weapons. However, the mech also has weaknesses. Huge. The Atlas's massive profile ensures that scattering projectiles such as SRMs will hit with most of its munitions. Slow. Combined with its large size, the Atlas can take startling amounts of damage due to how easy it is to hit. Short-ranged. Combined with its slow speeds, faster enemies can easily stay outside of the Atlas's deadly close range, where the mech's firepower is drastically reduced. Ammo explosion. Ammunition bins are always a weak point, and both of the Atlas's side torsos contain them and their respective weapons. Recustomization. Ronin Fox Armored Security recommends the following AS7-D for the beginner MechWarrior. It will focus on rebalancing its effective range. Starting with a stripped mech, add one AC-5 rapid fire with 5 tons of AC-5 ammo, which is 400 rounds. Add one LRM-20 stream and one LRM-10 stream with 4 tons of LRM ammo, which is 1,760 missiles or 58.6 volleys. Add 4 medium lasers short burst. Max its armor and add 10 heat sinks. This will take the Atlas above its maximum tonnage. Bring it into compliance by tuning the armor. Set all rear armor to 10 and move the rest to the forward armor. Set head armor to 24. Set leg armor to 78 each. This refit changes the Atlas into a brawler-type mech, now effective at all ranges. The new AC-5 rapid fire outdamages the original AC-20 due to its high rate of fire, while also being half the weight of the former and with greater range and accuracy. Now the Atlas is effective at any range, while still maintaining significant firepower up close. BattleRom Debriefing. Now that the Atlas has been refitted, it's time to see how to operate it in the field. These will be the mission conditions. Mission type, battlefield. Difficulty, 100. Maximum drop weight, 400. Allies include 1 Banshee BNC-3S and 2 Stalkers STK-3Fs, all in stock configuration. Pilot skill, elite. If you own a BattlePod training simulator, check Document 1 in the video's description for an instant action code allowing you to recreate this battle for training purposes. Welcome to BattleRom MechWarrior. It is 3039 and the Draconis Combine is attempting to launch counterattacks at the invading Federated Commonwealth, hoping to split their forces between attack and defense. BattleRom itself was a planet whose ecology was devastated by aggressive mining operations. Now it is a battlefield of said counterattacks. You'll be seeing the perspective of Yako 1, leading one of Ronin Fox's heaviest lances, covering the withdrawal of the 5th Ghost Legion being pursued by the 8th Crucis Lancers after a successful guerrilla operation. Yako arrives in the area and makes themselves an obvious target to the Crucis Lancers, who detect them with a dervish and a panther. Bombardment commences, and missiles rain down upon the dervish. Yako 1 positions his lance on a hill, with Yako 2 taking the lead while the other 3 provide fire support. Recognizing Yako 1's Atlas as the command mech, fire priority is placed on him, although the Atlas's armor is more than enough to deal with light counter-bombardment, and the dervish falls to its damage as the rest of Yako intercepts the panther. The Panther itself is wildly outclassed and folds under even brief concentrated fire. Heavier reinforcements arrive to intercept, this time a Cyclops joined by a longbow and cataphract. Bombardment begins from both sides with LRMs burning across the sky in both directions. Yako begins by attacking whatever presents itself before ordering the lance to give some ground to better make use of the hill. With the hill now blocking direct fire weapons, Yako 1 prioritizes the fragile longbow to stop its counter-bombardment. The mech's thin armor unable to withstand the same kind of firepower it itself lays down. Priority shifts to the Cyclops, whose armor was already battered by the rest of Yako Lance. It is buffeted by a continuous barrage of autocannons and missile fire, finally reaching the medium laser's range in tatters with armor breaches across its body. Its engine is breached as autocannons find their mark. Now, only the cataphract remains, and Yako 1 falls back farther behind the hill to block direct fire weapons, giving his Atlas a chance to cool down while maintaining pressure with an LRM barrage. A withering hail of LRMs shreds the cataphract apart as the rest of Yako Lance closes for the kill. As the Atlas sinks its heat, another wave of Crucis Lancers emerge, attacking from multiple angles, bringing a rifleman, Shadowhawk, Hatchetman, and a Panther. Bombardment begins at about 1,200 meters as Yako 1 engages with the AC-5, and the rifleman shows significant damage on the leg before even reaching reliable radar range. The battle grows complex as Yako 1 realizes the entire lance is prioritizing him. He falls behind the hill once more to block the heavier mechs, leaving the rest of Yako to deal with them while he changes his priority to the flanking mechs. The Hatchetman reaches close range, and the full capabilities of the Atlas are brought onto it. Searing emerald beams slice through its fragile armor, cutting it down. Yako 3 covers his leader, throwing all of those weapons into a flanking Panther, crushing it as soon as it climbed the hill. Simultaneously, the Shadowhawk charges up the hill successfully where it had become a chaotic melee. Guns fly, engines detonate, and Yako's Atlas is pushed to the limits of its heat, but its lasers find the rear armor of the Shadowhawk, swatting it out of the air. Only the rifleman remained now, limping its way forward after the battery it had received earlier from the Atlas's autocannons. Concentrated fire from Yako Lance puts the machine down. The 5th Ghost Legion confirms they've regrouped with friendlies, meaning this is the last group of Yako's targets. This time, a Wolfhound, a Vulcan, and a Banshee attack from 2 angles. The Banshee goes largely undetected, and Yako begins its bombardment on the Wolfhound. The light mech was never meant to face down such concentrated fire, and it's destroyed as it attempts to climb the hill. The Vulcan attempts the same strategy and is met with the same result, destruction briefly after making it up the hill. However, a confused Yako 1 swings his Atlas around, surprised to be ambushed by a 95-ton assault mech as the Banshee begins its assault from uphill, a much more effective angle. The Atlas's heat sinks finally reach their limit, and Yako 1 is yanked about his cockpit as the mech comes to an abrupt halt. The Atlas's operating system reboots, and Yako 1 is frustrated to see that the Banshee is still in relatively good condition. He begins a measured bombardment of the mech, backing down the hill. Finally, Yako 3 and 4 slice through the Banshee's armor, and Yako 1 wipes away some burning sweat from his eyes, demanding radio silence as the barbed jeers of his comrades needle him for being ambushed by such a large mech. Nevertheless, Yako's operation is a success. The 5th Ghost Legion withdrew intact, and the Atlas served its function, leading the bombardment, shrugging off impressive amounts of damage, and still having plenty of firepower for the periodic close combat. This concludes the tactical debriefing for the Atlas AS7-D. You now have a further understanding of the mech's specifications, strengths and weaknesses, as well as how to operate and refit your own Atlas D in the field. Thank you for choosing Ronin Fox Armored Security for all your training needs. Alright, Mech Bros, that was the iconic Atlas D, the mascot of Battletech, don't you know? But now it's time for Fox's final rating. Atlas D, smash or pass, except out of character. Right, so on God, I'm not a fan of the Atlas. I'm known as a bit of an Atlas hater, a bit of an Atlas A-logger. I know it's a crime, I know, but I just don't like it. This refit wasn't that bad, though. Maybe it's beginning to change my opinion. You see, a bus and mech setup is one of 2 things in MechWarrior 5. Either A, it has tons of little hardpoints for weapon spam that does tons of damage, or B, it has the designated head-hunting hardpoints like double Gauss rifles, quadruple heavy rifles, so that you can one-tap mechs with headshots. Now, the Atlas D doesn't do either of these, but for real, the DLC weapons might be saving it. You see, the AC-5 Rapid Fire is kind of like the battle rifle weapon. It's effective at all ranges, and it just cranks out a ton of damage due to its fire rate, and that's exactly what the Atlas needed. So smash or pass? Still gonna have to go with pass. The build impressed me, don't get me wrong. It might be changing my mind a bit, but I still think you could do a lot better than the Atlas D with like laser spam Banshee 3S, laser spam Battlemaster. If you do get an Atlas D though, the build worked. Anyways, that is all for this guide. See you guys in the next light mech guide. Don't forget to support the Fox Republic. Join Ronin Fox Armored Security. Your likes, comments, shares, and all your support helps keep the mercenary company going. Till next time, though, Mech Bros, Commander Fox is dipping out. Deuces, everyone, and remember that you don't have to be good to get good.